The moment my son told me he wasn't expecting me for Christmas, it felt like someone had pulled the lights out of my world, leaving a cold darkness that I couldn't shake. Before we continue, please subscribe to the channel. I had spent months quietly preparing for this day, imagining the warmth of his laughter, the smell of the roast in the oven, the soft glow of the lights reflecting off the ornaments, and the quiet joy that comes from simply being together. But in an instant, all of that seemed meaningless. I sat there, staring at the half-decorated tree, feeling a hollow ache that spread from my chest down to my toes. The kind of ache that only comes when someone you've devoted your life to dismisses your presence without realizing it. Over the years, I had poured everything I had into providing him a safe, steady home, sacrificing vacations I had dreamed of, working late nights to make every mortgage payment on time, skipping meals and hobbies, and holding myself together when life threatened to crumble, all to ensure that he would never feel the insecurity I had known as a child. And yet, now, all those sacrifices seemed invisible, as if the years of quiet devotion were nothing more than air, unappreciated and unacknowledged. I thought about turning around, leaving without a word, letting the silence of the empty streets mirror the silence I suddenly felt inside. But there was a stubborn part of me that refused to disappear, that whispered that love isn't something you give only when it is expected or celebrated. It exists even when it is ignored. So I stayed, slowly setting the table, wrapping gifts with hands that trembled a little, pouring a glass of wine for myself, pretending to smile as the house glowed around me with the warmth of the season that felt so distant from my own heart. Every ornament I hung seemed heavier, every ribbon tied with a little more effort, every tiny flicker of light a reminder that I had once believed Christmas meant togetherness, and now it felt like a performance for an audience that didn't even know I was there. I remembered past holidays when laughter had come easily, when my son's face had lit up at the sight of a present, or the smell of a familiar dish, and the contrast made the present moment ache like a wound that wouldn't heal. That night the house was still warm, the lights still glowed, but each smile I forced onto my face felt like a mask. Every laugh I coaxed out of myself echoed in the emptiness, and the silence between my son's words and my own presence grew louder with each passing second. I went to bed carrying a heart heavier than the snow piling outside, knowing that sometimes love is quiet, unseen, and unacknowledged, and yet it persists, stubborn and aching in the spaces where expectation has failed, leaving me with a bittersweet realization that even when you show up with everything you have, the ones you love may not even notice, and that alone can be the heaviest gift of all.